Hey, Chem 12s, here we are. What is it? Oh, it's a good week. Is it a short week? It is a short week. That's right. And then you have a long weekend coming up, and here we are in this chapter. We started last day looking at aluminum foil in a solution of copper 2 chloride. It was kind of neat. Today's lesson is on oxidation numbers. I think you're going to be okay. So I've given you these handouts. You are either following along or write them out a little bit later on. They will be in our class notebook. Okay. Oxidation numbers are real or apparent. Usually you and I think of oxidation number as charges. So for example, let's have a look. Why is my pen? Oh, there's my pen. Okay. And where's my pen today? How about a blue pen? There we go. So when we take a look at these elements, well, of course, these elements have no charge, so their oxidation number is 0, right? So here we go, 0. That's it. We don't see a superscript charge on the right-hand side, top right-hand side. So whether it is a single atom or whether it's a diatomic molecule, these are in its elemental form. They have no charge. Oxidation number is 0. You will also find the second example pretty easy as well. So you and I often think of the oxidation number as the charge. So for example, chromium 3+. So it has a +3. You can write it 3+, +3. It's all the same, right? The sulfide ion has a charge of -2. So there it is, already written on the top right-hand side. You know this, not an issue. Number 3, ionic compounds are coming from ions. So for example, when we have an ionic compound made up of the positive ion sodium and then the negative ion chloride, right? So sodium has a +1 charge, and then the chloride has a -1 charge, and that's why when we crisscross, the formula is the NaCl. So if you go back to the original charge of sodium or the original charge of potassium in this compound, the alkaline metals are +1. So everything in the first column +1. And you're like, hey, Miss Wu, are you getting this lesson mixed up with like grade 10s or grade 11? We knew that. Yeah, it gets a little bit more complicated, okay? Your halogens. So that would be your second to the last column, your fluorides or chlorides, right? All of those you know to be a -1. And then this is where I have the, well, it is usually -1, but then we have some exceptions. It is not -1 sometimes, especially when it is not written last in the formula. Okay, maybe we'll see an example a little bit later on, okay? Here we go. You know oxygen is a -2. Okay. And then here comes some exceptions. Some exceptions would be peroxides. And so with peroxides, it would be a -1. You're like, what on earth is a peroxide? So here, for example, is H2O2, and that would be called hydrogen peroxide. Like you normally know the formula H2O, water. Per just means there's an extra. So there's an extra oxygen. So H2O2. So each of these oxygens would have a -1 charge. Let's keep going. You know hydrogens, and hydrogens are +1. So, for example, nitric acid, the H in the front is a +1, and then the nitrate is NO3, -1, and crisscross the formula, and so that's how we get, right? HNO3. So hydrogen +1, you know that. Oh, wait, now we get to the exception. And so hydrogens can be a -1 when you see them in the formula at the end. And when it's at the end, then it's acting as a hydride. Okay. Unusual, cool. So far I've gone through, right, very common charges of alkali and halogen and oxygens and so forth, and then a couple of exceptions to the rules. Okay. Now, what about when we have polyatomic ions or groups? So when we have a large molecule such as ammonia, NH3, the whole entire molecule has no charge. So whatever the charge is of nitrogen and the charges of the 3 hydrogens comes to the overall net no charge. Okay. Then we get to polyatomic ions. Like the polyatomic ion that we see on the backside of the periodic table, here is our chromate, CrO4 -2. So then it means that the whole group, Cr and 4 O's, comes to a total charge of -2. So we're going to see how that comes into play. For example, let's go and continue with the CrO4 -2. Now they want you to find just the oxidation number of the chromium. What exactly is the charge of the chromium? So we don't know the charge of chromium. It is one of those transition metals. It can have all sorts of charges. There are a couple of choices. But we do know that when it is in this group called the chromate, there are 4 oxygens. Each oxygen is a -2, and then the whole group adds up to a charge of -2. So I just want to, all right, so how did I know the whole thing adds up to a charge of -2? Well, there it is written to the top right-hand corner, okay? How did I know that the charge of each oxygen was a -2? Well, that was us a little bit earlier on talking about how oxygens have a charge of -2, okay? Okay, we're not done. This is, what, grade 8 algebra, let's hope? 4 times a -2 is a -8, and all of that adds up to -2. So let me add 8 to both sides of the equation. So chromium here is a +6. Let me just double check my math. 6 and -8 is -2. Yeah, okay, so cool. So here in this particular group, CrO4 -2, this chromate ion, chromium, Cr, has a charge of +6. Let's continue. Let's see what we have here. HClO4. So here is a molecule. And so let's find just the charge of the chlorine. Okay. Now we know the hydrogen is a +1. Hydrogen is in the front. It's a +1. We have oxygen, 4 of those, and each of those at a -2. All right. So let's add this up. Hydrogen is a +1, whatever chlorine's charge is, and then 4 of the oxygen, each at -2, and the whole thing adds up to 0. And so the reason why I know the whole thing adds up to 0 is because this whole molecule is neutral. There's no charge, right? Let's see. So that's a -8 plus 1 is a -7. What? What? Hold on. I'm doing this wrong. Plus 1, okay. 4, here's a -8. Here's a -7 is a +7. Wow, cool. Let me just double check. Plus 1 plus 7 is a +8, -8. Yep, okay. The chlorine here is a +7. Wow, weird. Let's do another one here. Here is our dichromate ion, and this time they are again very much interested in what's going on with the chromium and the oxidation number of chromium. All right, so let's see. 2 of the chromium, and I don't know what the charges are. 7 of the oxygen, each at -2. And the whole thing adds up to -2. All right, let's not skip steps this time, Miss Wu, you know. Okay, let's add 14 to both sides so that I can have all the numbers, right, on one side. So 2 chromiums is equal to positive 12. So then let's divide by 2. Let's divide by 2. So the charge of chromium is a plus 6. All right. There we go. Let me just double check. Plus 12. Negative 14. Yeah. See? You should thank your grade 8 math teacher for teaching you. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Oh, the good old days. Oh, the good old days of easy math, eh? So what do they want us to do now? Let's find the oxidation number of just the phosphorus. Okay. And this overall group is neutral. So 3 of the lithium. Lithium is coming from the first column of the periodic table. So there are plus 1. Whatever the phosphorus is, 4 of the oxygen, each at negative 2, and the whole thing comes to 0. So here's a 3, and a phosphorus, and a negative 8 is equal to 0. So phosphorus is plus 5? Yeah, plus 5. Okay. Now I know normally you wouldn't write a plus in front of the 5. You know when you write 5 it's positive. But you know, just today, with all these oxidation numbers being positive and negative, I'm just gonna label my positives and negatives. So how am I going to relate this to last day's lesson? Do you remember the aluminum foil? Aluminum foil, solid, became aluminum ion and gave away 3 electrons. Let's take a look at the oxidation number of each of these components. The oxidation number here for aluminum, no charge, is 0. The oxidation number of the aluminum ion is a plus 3. Now this is considered to be oxidation. Remember Leo, right? So when you lose electrons, it's called oxidation. So notice the oxidation number went up. 0, 3. Up. Now let's take a look. Here we have our GR. Here we have gaining electrons. It's called reduction. Let's check out what's going on with the oxidation numbers. Plus 2, 0. To go from plus 2 down to 0, the oxidation number has reduced. This is so cool. I really have to look into the history, but I think, oh no, I have a typo. Oh man, I'm gonna have to change the typo before I, so in a reduction reaction, the oxidation number has reduced. Oh, that's better. Okay, let me go to my highlighter. As I was saying, I think I really need to go into the history of why it's called reduction, why this thing, right, gaining 2 electrons is called reduction. Take a look at the oxidation number. The oxidation number has reduced. It is reduction. That is so easy to remember. So the reduction half reaction has us seeing the oxidation number being reduced. There you go. I hope you remember that point. It's a good one. It's nice and easy to see that this is a reduction reaction. The oxidation number has gone down. Now I'll fix these notes before I give them to you so that it says the right word there, reduction. Cool. Am I done? I am done. Well, that was easy. Where am I? I am in Hebden. And there are a couple of examples you could try. And this is on page 194. Don't do too much. I know some of you are quite busy right now. Number 3, 4. Number 3 and 4. Oh, no. I don't want you to do all of these. How about just odds? Okay? Now, if you happen to have, some time, do it. If you're writing 3 AP exams, well, you're probably not watching this video anyways, are you? You'll catch up. Okay. I want you to catch up. Okay. All right. That's it. Until next week.